Does continue this morning. We've got several crews out around the metro checking out those conditions for you.
That's right. Abigail James in Platte City, Bill Hurlbrink on the road in the mobile storm tracker as well. And Savannah Rudisell is going to join us in just a moment with updates on what city crews are doing in the midst of the pandemic and all of this snowfall. Let's get to our Abigail James right now, who will take you through what she's seeing, where she's at. Abigail, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Well, the snow is continuing to fall out here in Platte City this morning, just like it has been since we got here a little bit before 5 a.m. Now, this is a wet snow, but that doesn't mean that it's simply melting when it hits the ground. And you can tell that just by the accumulation that we have seen in the past hour over here in the grassy area. And now you can, even though the roads do appear to be clear out here, it doesn't mean that they are not slick. So just be prepared for them to be slick just in case, because we are even seeing just a light film of slush in the parking lot that we're currently standing in. Now, when we got off of I-29 as we were making our way just around the corner over here, we did notice on that overpass area that there was some snow and slush accumulation. So it's those higher elevated surfaces and those overpasses and untreated roads that drivers really do need to just be watchful for this morning as they head out for their morning commute. And if you are heading up outside, just make sure that you do bundle up. It is pretty cold out here. You can see again out here in Platte City how much the snow is falling just by what it looks like thanks to those lights over in the car dealership over there. And you can also see the snow that's on top of all the cars over there. But again, bundle up this morning. It's cold and it is windy. We're now reporting live, Abigail James, KCTV5 News.
Yeah, that wind only going to make conditions on the roadways even worse this morning in terms of visibility. Bill Hurlbrink has been tracking that from inside the mobile storm tracker, and he's stepped outside since to give us a closer look at this snow. Bill, what can you report?
So, Joe, really what I want people to know about is kind of what Abby had just said, is those bridges and overpasses are really starting to get a little snowfall accumulating on them, especially out where we are. We're out west of town in between Lawrence and Kansas City on the Kansas Turnpike, especially those bridges and overpasses that Edwin and I drove over here about 30 minutes ago. We're starting to get some snow sticking to them, so really want you to be careful as you're heading out and about. Here where we've pulled over in the parking lot of the rest stop, you can see some of the snow is starting to gather along the rocks and the bushes here, where that air is able to get underneath and give it a nice cold surface to stick to. The parking lot is still just wet. It looks like it doesn't appear to see anything sticking on there. We did see a salt truck go by along the Turnpike, so good news is the roads out here are being treated, and again, hopefully they'll just stay wet here this morning and not turn into anything that's going to be slick or giving people a real hard time, especially here on the Turnpike in between Lawrence and Kansas City. Live outside the mobile storm tracker, I'm Bill Hurlbrink, KCTV5 News.
All right, thanks, Bill. Now we want to give you a look at things closer here in Kansas City, Missouri. That's where we find Savannah Rudisell. She's taking a closer look at those conditions for us here this morning. Savannah, how's it looking where you are?
Well, pretty good right now, Kelly. We don't have very much accumulation on the roads, like Bill was saying, especially on those high traffic areas. But there's definitely a need for these salt trucks and potentially some snow plows as well today. We wanted to check in with some of these crews about how they were preparing to fight these big snowstorms we have coming up when they are in a pandemic as well. Everybody is social distancing, so how do they prep? So I talked with the city of Overland Park. They just had their snowplow training last week, just in time for this first snowfall, of course. They say it wasn't all of that different. They have one driver per truck, and so snow removals and pothole repairs are going to continue on as usual. Now, the city of Olathe, they also added a few safety measures like sanitizing their trucks and wearing masks. I also got a little bit more information about how they prepped for today's snowfall. Public Works has 28 trucks out right now, and they have a goal to clear or treat some busy traffic areas by the end of rush hour. For a little bit more insight onto how KC Mo is preparing, KDOT and MoDOT are doing, you can head to our website at kctv5.com. Reporting live in Kansas City, Savannah Rudisell, KCTV5 News.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much. And let's get you over to Aaron this morning. It's a good thing those road crews were prepping, because we are certainly seeing it impact the roadways, Aaron.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest concern is as we move through the morning?
Bridges, overpasses, as Bill just mentioned, and low visibility with some of these bands of snow working across our area. I don't expect this is going to be the heaviest snow we've ever seen here in Kansas City. This will be a lighter end event with anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow, so not as concerned about power outages or tree limbs affected with the snow coming coming down, but I do expect we're going to have some issues in terms of roads, and we'll also be keeping a close eye on any of our schools that are in session for today. I'll have the newest updates city by city, how much snow you're going to see in your backyard by tonight, coming up.